Today, I am going to talk about I.P.A. and what that means, what that might mean to you. If you know what that means, perhaps put a comment in the bottom what that means to you. And if you've come across it before, it wasn't all that long ago that I came across this acronym. Was like I.P.A. What does that mean? And I discovered what it meant to the person that was telling me about it. So I'm going to go into that, but I'm also going to do some twists on I.P.A. that have helped me. So first of all, I'm Lucy and I help female business builders to expand their team and scale their business online. IPA means income producing activities. So you might think, yeah, well, I know that already, or this might be the first time that you've actually heard of IPA, and that's what you're looking at this video for, is to try and find out what the heck IPA is. So we're going to look at that first of all, and understanding clearly what your income producing activities are. So for your business, you've got lots of different activities, right? So you have to wear lots of hats when you work from home, when you've got a home business, when you're doing your networking. And that can go from doing your accounts, it can go from keeping the office tidy, it can go to doing the lead generation, it can go to creating the posts, it can go to content creation, it can go to creating videos, uploading videos. There are so many different areas of your business, but there have got to be enough that are IPA, income producing activities, that make your business work. So if I look at my business and I see it's coming down and the income isn't coming in for any point, I can look at the activities that I'm doing and decide if a certain income producing activity isn't working as well. So I can kind of zoom in on that and go, okay, well, how much of that am I doing? How much would I expect to come back from that activity? And if it's not, what do I need to tweak? What do I need to change? Do I need to do more of another activity that is bringing in more people to me and that is bringing in more income? So on a very practical level, I can go right up over my business and kind of zoom down on it and have a look at what is working and what's not working. Am I in a phase, which I know I have been for a while, of putting all the bits and pieces together, building something up that has got a really solid new foundation to this digital building, that I know that perhaps I'm not doing so much of those income producing activities at that point. So it's not worrying me so much maybe if it's gone down a bit, because I'm setting all of this in place so that when it is set, everything runs smoothly. And the way I look at that for me is that it's a slow in. So all of this building and understanding and putting bits and pieces together, building out this new foundation is fine for me, because I know that once I've got all of that there, once it's all in place, that things are going to grow and grow. And that is, for me, that's okay. But when you look at your business, is that okay for you? Have you got enough in the bank, in the backup office, that you can afford to do that? Or do you need to be doing half of that and half of your income producing activities? So that's the kind of the stage that I got to. It's like I know that which my activities are, and I know that I can do those activities, and I'm doing those activities, but I'm also building this new foundation for this new way of working that I've been doing since the end of 2020. So, things move on. More income starts to come in because of this new foundation, because of this new building up, and there will come a point that it just zaps up, and everything becomes much easier because of the time and the effort I put in. So that's one way of looking at your income producing activities. Know what they are and know if you're doing enough of them. The other ways I've looked at I.P.A, and I did this very recently, and I thought, what would I.P.A mean to me if I kind of had to look at it from a different angle? If it wasn't income producing activities, what else would it be? So let me change the way I look at I.P.A. So the first thing I thought of was I plan action. Okay, kind of works towards the other I.P.A, which is income producing activity. So I am planning action for my business, I plan action. Right, so I know what actions I've got to plan. And as I'm doing those actions, maybe something doesn't work out the way that I want it to. And so what am I going to do? What next I.P.A can I do? So my next I.P.A was I pivot accordingly. So looking back at the first I.P.A, if something isn't working, then pivot, look at in another direction and use another activity that's working better. If something doesn't turn out the way that you want it to, or the way for me that I want it to, I can pivot and go at that from a different angle, right? So there are different ways to look at that, but I pivot accordingly. I'm like, yeah, I do that. And then my final I.P.A, and this is something that I'm always talking about, is the attraction. I prospect attractively. And that's because since the end of 2020, I've been learning and implementing attraction marketing, the way to attract people to me. And it's a different way of working. For me, I find it's a very elegant way of working. That's a word that I use to describe it. And if that's something that you want as well, if you want to say, I prospect attractively, then remember there is the video series you can click on above, and you can take a look at that. And there is a 10-day video series that talks about what it is all about in much deeper detail. So that's something that I suggest for you. It's a free video series. It's like a boot camp, and you can listen to that free of charge. You get one email a day, so it doesn't overload you, for 10 days. And then after that, there is also a book that you can get as an online book with a ton of information about attraction marketing and how you can use that and actually put it into action. So the video series talks about it, and then the book is the how to do it part. So I highly recommend both of those. That's where I started my journey. So the I.P.A there is I prospect attractively.